Here.
Yeah.
So, good morning, everybody. We appreciate you jumping on. Thanks for being here. We do this every Tuesday. Okay, a lot of you guys are with us every week. We got new people joining us, guests all the time. This is open to all agents, all companies everywhere. So, if you are a guest with us here for the first time, welcome. You're always welcome to come back. We do this every week. We've been doing this now for over a year. I will tell you, the last few months has just been amazing. I'm in Colorado Springs. My wife and I, we do real estate together, and been doing this for 21 years, and I swear every week, I mean, it's like I'm taking notes like everybody else. I'm like, wow, there's an idea I never thought of. There's something I never thought of. The one last week. If you missed last week, we sent it out to a bunch of people, the recording, because man, it was just some ideas there. Ideas that you could implement that would cost absolutely nothing, that could easily bring an extra 20 to 30 deals a year if you just do it. I was telling my wife about it, and we watched it. She watched the recording of it. She wasn't able to be on here, but really, really good stuff. So you're always welcome. A lot of us are part of what's called Freedom Team at EXP. 6 leaders now. In multiple states. We're doing 48 states and 7 countries around the world, and kind of heading this up, doing all kinds of additional things on top of what EXP is offering. But I like doing this setting because we can interact a little more and we can all see each other and whatever. It's just above and beyond what EXP provides, which is phenomenal. But this isn't about EXP. It's about all of us growing our businesses and
Yep.
getting through this shift in the market and coming up with new and better things to do and ways to take our business to another level. So, Kathy, do you want to introduce Fhonda?
Yeah, let me introduce Miss
There you go.
Fhonda. I'm excited to have you today, Fhonda. We're all going to get a lot from you. I've known Fhonda since she was brand new in the business, which has been what, 4 years now?
Yes, 4 years.
Awesome, because she's here just outside of Nashville where I'm at. And Fonda, you're going to find out today. She's just a go-getter. She's a people person. She's just a go-getter. She's very good at what she does. And, are you a 2 or 3-time icon already?
3-time icon.
3-time icon. So 4 years in a business, 3 years icon. So, even for you new people on here, like she is going to teach you what she's done, some of the ideas and some of the things that she's done. So without further ado, Fonda, I'm going to let you take it over. I'm going to give you access to be able to share your screen because I think you have a PowerPoint, so people, if they want to, can snap pictures. There will be this recording for everybody on here in the workplace. Jeff, I don't know if you just said that. We will have this recording up by the end of the afternoon, and so Fonda's going to talk to you about 10 tips on building your business this year. So let me give you screen access to share. Fonda, hold on one second.
Thank you.
There you go. You should have access. So take it away, girl.
Awesome. So the first thing I want to start with is with the new year. A lot of times in our personal life, we have resolutions. I do goal boards, and one of my goal boards is capping 2023, and then I do icon 2023. I've got these hung in my office. I also do my goal for recruiting. Last year was recruit 2 agents a month. This year I'm going to bump that up to 3. I always do capping and icon, and then we do another one that says payoff, because anything after icon is for paying off our house very early, so that we're set up. So get your goals in place. EXP is wonderful that they have the capping and then the icon that gives you goals to shoot for. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to talk about 10 ways to do more business in 2023. And y'all, I'm an old school person, so you're not going to get a lot of techie. If you were wanting that, that's probably not here, but I'm going to tell you what hard work and dedication does. So I'm going to share my screen if I can here. I hope everyone's doing great today. I'm a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie. But
we're all your friends, Fonda.
That's right. That's right. I probably know a ton of you. So it says got business. This is 10 ways to get more real estate business, like my top 10. So social media. A lot of times I hear excuses. They're coming up. Oh, I don't like being on screen. Fall in love with social media. And if you're only on one platform, kill it. That is one thing I will say. Get out of your own way. Don't worry about what you look like on screen. Fall in love with that screen. Fall in love with that social media. And, you know, for all them type A that are going, well, what about this and what about that? I don't care if you do a page. I don't care if you do it on your personal page. I don't care where you do it. Just get consistent. And then share out things about your community. Every community has a Facebook page. And if they don't, start one. If your community doesn't have a Facebook page where it's talking about the events in the area, snag those events, put them on your page and say, just an FYI, or if I plan to attend that event, I say, hey, will we see y'all there? We're going to be here. Do something very community, very local, but if you don't have one, start it. So if you only pick one platform, I will tell you, Facebook is still hands down the top place to be social. Okay. A lot of people think that Insta is coming in. No, Facebook is still the monster in the room. So you'll see at the end of this, at the end of the bullet points, it says, be consistent. I will always tell you, I'm one of the most consistent creatures. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for turning on your camera. So I'm one of the most consistent creatures. Randy said, when I first got in the business, he said, you know why you're good at this? And I said, no, I said, I don't know. I work hard. He said, you get up and you do it every day, every single day. You know, whether that's talking to a client on Sunday because we don't have appointments, wishing them a happy, beautiful Sunday, whatever that looks like. I do something for my real estate business every single day, even on vacation, because I'm posting on Facebook during that time. And people are sending private messages. You deserve this time. You would not believe how many people celebrate our vacations. Forget what your mama told you. You're going to talk to strangers. I follow the 3-foot rule. So here's how I do men, because a lot of women won't approach men. I never do a physical attribute compliment to the man. Like I'll say, hey, Brian, I love that hat. My husband would look so handsome in that. Where did you get it? I'm always referencing my husband, right? My husband when I'm talking to the man. That way they don't think, oh, she's coming on to me, or it doesn't get awkward. But I seize the opportunity to talk to everyone that's 3 feet in front of me. I find this so hard to turn off when I'm with friends, because I try not to do it, because I don't want them to think, oh, she only come to lunch with me to talk to other people. You find opportunities. Ask them what they do. Start with a compliment. Even with the man, like I said, the hat, I don't do their physical attributes. I always reference my husband back. Y'all, I don't just hand my card to them. I don't just say, hey, I'm Fhonda, I'm a realtor. Here's my card, call me. No, I get their digits. 99.9% of the time I get their digits. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. After I get their digits, I go outside to the car. I do a quick video that says, hey, Natalie, it was so great meeting you. I can't wait to find out more about you. Look forward to our call whenever I told them I was going to call. I send that little short 10-second video. They're like, wow, this is a beast. If I'm not decorated that day, like I don't have on makeup, I'll send them a text and say, hey, it was so great meeting you. I look forward to getting to know you better. I really felt like there was a connection in that grocery store line. But again, you see, be consistent. You have to do this consistently. If you're nervous about getting their phone numbers, start 2 weeks of just complimenting everybody you run into. Just start at a gradual, slow. Then start passing out your card, and then start getting the numbers, but do it consistently. Okay, love and communicate with your past. This was mind-blowing when I came into real estate. I used to sell makeup. So the beautiful thing about makeup is mascara lasts about 45 days. Base lasts about 30 days. So I was always connecting with my clients saying, hey, what do you need to round out your makeup bag? No, realtors weren't doing this. I was like, wait a minute, what? You're not communicating with your clients every month? They know at least 100 people, y'all. There's your referrals. I know my clients so well that I can say, hey, we're cooking dinner. Do y'all want to run by? They are our friends after that 30, 45. I don't care if it's a 14-day closing, they're our friends. We know them. I send them funny memes that are appropriate to whatever we went through. I remember one time we couldn't get into new builds and I opened the windows. I didn't have the lockbox and we crawled in the windows. So every time I see a meme like that, I send it out to Thad and I say, oh, those were the good old days. Well, guess what? He just called and said, hey, we need a pool. We need a bigger house. We want to move closer to Murfreesboro. So now I'm going to do a buy and sell. Do you think that Thad would have even thought about me after 3 or 4 years? He might have, but I guarantee those texts, dropping by at his kid's birthday party and just being his friend caused him to call me. I add them on Facebook if you haven't already, right? Get the review the day of closing, y'all. That's when they're the happiest. They're going to be busy moving. Check in with them 3 days after the closing and say, hey, how's it going? If they say, girl, we hadn't even moved in, right then put it on your calendar to call them in 7 days, right? If they haven't had time to move in, call them in 7 days. Send them mailbox happies. I send my clients mailbox happies all the time. These are forget-me-not seeds. In the springtime, I send these out and say, springtime's blooming. I love Tennessee in the springtime. Plant these forget-me-nots. And if you hear anybody buying or selling, give me a holler. I do not care to ask for the referral. The more you know them, the more comfortable you are. I do drop-by gifts, like wine bottles of wine with fake little cups. I'll say, hey, celebrate the day because it's been beautiful out here. Just any little thing. I have this on my calendar to send them funny memes, to send them text. And then guess what? I also ask for referrals. And I will just be so raw. I'll be like, hey, Shelly, hey, I see that my lead pool's drying up. Have you heard about anybody buying or talking about buying a house or selling a house or their children? Because I'm at that age, you know, their kids are starting to buy houses. Again, this is be consistent. So I sent them Thanksgiving cards. I sent out Christmas cards. I sent out Christmas coffee. And I said, Randy, I do not want to send out our New Year's cards yet. I want to hold that. And because I'm sending calendar with it, right? I did not want it because it was so Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then I do not want that to get all bogged down. I do magazines 2 times a year. That gives me a little break. I pay my son Sean about $25 to stuff all of this. I get him a system going. It's relatively cheap, y'all. You can use other things. So your sphere of influence, don't be shy. This needs to grow every single day. People know you, people like you, people trust you. But if you've got the same 5 and you don't add another 5, guess what? That 5, you're not growing. Don't be shy to add to that sphere of influence. Go to that Tupperware party. Go to that makeup party. Be present online. Find a group that resonates with you. You know, we do a lot of dog rescue groups, but we're active in there. We actively post online. We actively talk to them. If there's a transport that we can do, we'll get on there and say, hey, we'll transport that dog. We're meeting new people. So don't be shy about your sphere of influence. But guess what? They have to hear from you or they're not going to no longer be your sphere, right? So one thing I will tell you is you can pick 10 or 20 people a day. You can call them, you can ask them, or you can buy leads and call strangers. Which one do you want to do? It's so much easier to talk to a friend. It's so much easier to hear a familiar voice. Use your sphere of influence. They know people. Again, if you don't have a good sphere of influence, hang out on your square. Go to your farmer's market. Change your sphere. Make it bigger. Make it grow. But you have to do this what? Consistently. Again, that's the key word. Listing mailers. So when I get a listing, I send out about 3 to 4 postcards to that neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods or subdivisions. And what that postcard looks like is I'll send out one that says just listed. A lot of times, you know, before, a couple days before. So when that person calls and say, hey, Fhonda, I want you to list my house, I'm like, okay. If they change their mind, y'all, you're out $36. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. Go ahead and get those and say, at your listing appointment, say, I've already bought some of the marketing material we're going to use. I do a blanket of postcards. So you're going to send out the listing. And then I send out another one. You see it here. It's very similar to the people peeking in the blinds. Mine has binoculars. It says, did you see what your neighbor did? And then on the back, it says, they listed their house. Want to know what yours is worth? I can help. Just give me a call. I send this out. Then I send another one out when it goes in under contract. And I'll say, sold, right? Sold on the property. I send that out. And then I send another one out that just has me introducing. One thing I will tell you, do not set your postcards up like this. They're extra postage. Turn them this way and do them this way. They're very cheap. Postcards are very cheap. That's why I use postcards. And guess what? When you're rummaging through your mail, are you going to look at this silly mail right here? You're going to look at this. You're going to be like, what in the world is this? Because it's funny. It raises an emotion, right? It's like, that looks so silly. What did my neighbors do? You know, it creates some drama. So send out listing mailers. I send these to for sale by owners on Zillow. I even do this, y'all. When I see a sign in the yard, I check Zillow for that address. I take a picture of that sign, take a picture of that house, take a picture of that street, and I'll send these out to the ones that just have the signs in the yard, especially if they're not on Zillow. Because who's getting that house? The people that drive by every day. And most of the time it's within a neighborhood, and those same people drive by every single day. So be consistent at doing this. Be consistent. Say, wait, Fhonda, I don't have a listing. Well, even better, you just save some money. You're going to take a listing that is listed on the MLS. You know the neighborhood. You know the subdivision. You're going to go into the tax records. You're going to print the labels, and you're going to send this one. You don't have to send a listing one. You can just say, did you see what your neighbor did? Borrow your co-agent's listing and just say, did you see what your neighbor did? I got so many listings from this last year. This card right here, because I paid attention to that MLS, especially when I was showing 3 to 5 buyers that same house. 3 to 5 buyers that same house, I'd say, dang, I need another one in this neighborhood. So I'd go after it. I would not only send this, I would send the introduction one, and then I would go knock on the doors and say, I'm sure that you've seen me in your mailbox, but here I am alive and in person. People want to feel something when you talk to them. So I either most of the time I go for funny, because it's just easier, right? When you can get a chuckle out of somebody, then you're like, okay, I made their day better. So I'll walk that neighborhood. Again, this has to be consistent. You know, somebody can do this one time. They can, go balls to the walls and be wonderful at it, right? But the key is to be consistent. Property boost. So people, I hear people talk negatively about this, positively about this. It doesn't matter. It is based on the person that is doing the property boost. It's a follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Did I say that 4 times? I meant to say it 5. Follow up. You've got to set the appointment. You are just a voice. If they're not answering your phone, go to that 10-second video and say, hey, it's Fhonda Hatmaker. You hit on my website, just seeing how I can serve you. Please give me a call back at your convenience. And then until they say, Fhonda, I'm fixing to get a restraining order on you, I'm going to call them. I am going to try to set that appointment, because I think that if I can get in front of that person, I'm going to either list their house or be their buyer's agent. If I can just get in front of them. And then set them up on a drip, y'all, especially if they don't put their phone numbers in there. You can look them up, but set them on a drip within your KV core. Serve their needs. Don't just set them up on a drip for that area. Really pay attention to how many bedrooms, what lot size were they looking for? What area were they looking for? If they don't, a lot of times, if they don't get back with me on my video, I'll say, hey, I noticed that you were looking in McMinnville, Sandra, but would Coffee County also do? Would Manchester, Tennessee also do for your search? A lot of times she's going to be like, would I live in Metro? Yes or no. She's just going to automatically answer that question without even thinking about it. She's going to text me back. So again, this is be consistent, y'all. So me and Randy do the $60 one. We don't do the big one because I want it fresh. I want it freshening itself up. So we'll do the 60. I think that's the one he does. He always sets that up. We always follow up together, but he does the 61 and it goes straight into your KB core, but you got to be consistent. Consistency. So I love this one. I love when clients that we meet, they say, I see you everywhere. Or when I run into them at the grocery store, they'll say, you're everywhere. You know that your marketing is working when people are saying that. Your brand is being noticed. And it's all about top of mind awareness, right? That's why you're doing social media. And if you're really good, you're doing TikTok, you're doing Reels, you're doing Facebook, you're doing Insta, you're doing all of those if you're good. Or, y'all, there's an app that will help you share on each one. Don't worry if it's the same stuff. You know what? You're seeing everything you post, but I guarantee your friends, your network, your followers are not seeing everything you post. Only you know everything. I have some people that say, should I post 3 times? Should I post 5 times? Well, while you're sitting there worried about if you should post 3 or 5 times or 1 time, you're not posting at all. Don't worry about it. Be uniquely you on your Facebook. It'll be wonderful. So here's some things that I do. I do billboards. I do menus. It's relatively cheap. I pay $500. I'm on 3 restaurants menus. It's our card there. It's on 3 little mom and pop in 3 different town restaurants. It costs me $500, $500 a year. And I think I said a month, but it is a year, $500 a year. I've had 2 calls off of the menus, but what I do have is I have tons of people that snap my picture and say, I see you on my menu. Top of mind awareness. Listing signs with directionals. If your town, make sure that the town allows it. I know that Manchester allows it, Tullahoma does not. Restaurant TV ads. You know those TVs that you're seeing in all those barbecue places? You can go on there. You just have to be a part of that. We're on the Megatron during our ball games. The radio station says our name. They say our name 6 times during soccer, baseball, and football games in our local community. How did I do that, right? I just linked myself with someone that had a kid in football. And I'll say, hey girl, every time he has something, get me in there. And she will. And when that kid grows up and graduates, I'll find me another football mom. They are happy to get the support for their children. So what did I pay for that, right? It was $2,600 for the year. They're saying our name 6 times. We're on their website. There are 3 radio stations. We're on all 3 of their Facebook pages, on their website, and they say our names during the ball games. Soccer, baseball, and football. It's amazing. You just got to reach out and find that. We do card boxes where if we like Jiffy Burger, we put our cards out in a little box. We make sure that we order them. I think you can get like 12 of them for $19 on Amazon, and we put them at their register, all of the small restaurants around here. And then communication boards. Did you know that the Tractor Supply, the co-op, they all have a communication board? Take your cards in there, put them up with a little push pin. I use the big push pins. That way people can easily get it. It also calls attention because it's a big push pin. And then social media, of course, radio ads. This is relatively expensive. We do it. It was great for noticing. We do this every other year. So we'll bring it back in and we'll take out billboard. We'll bring radio back in, take out billboard. And then friends pages. When you're out with your friends, say, hey, let's take a selfie, and then tell them to tag you. Hey, put that on social media and tag me. You top of mind. And then branded open house signs. Instead of just open house, put your picture there. Let them know that you're doing it. On your flyers, put your picture there. Do this consistently, y'all. I always say that branding in real estate is like dressing for the winter. You wouldn't just put on a coat and go outside. When it's really cold, you're putting on a toboggan, you're putting on a scarf, you're putting on a thick shirt, a jacket, gloves, you know, the thermal socks. You're dressing for the winter time. It's like, it all adds to the warmth of your marketing, right? So I love when they say, I see you everywhere. I think, well, they're never going anywhere, right? Because they know we are working hard to be recognized. All right, here's one that not a lot of people are doing. Guess what, y'all? Last year it was hard to do this, right? In 2021, it was really, really hard to do it, and early in 2022. But for sale by owners, it's opening back up. You're able to do this now. So what I do is I do a little preview sheet. It is on a clipboard. That's all I bring to the listing. I'm not telling them the price right then and there. I always tell them that I have to see the condition. I never lie. I'll tell you a story. I went to a home one time for sale by owner. I called them and I said, hey, I work with several buyers in the area. I'd like to preview your listing and see if it fits the criteria of any of my buyers. He said, you bringing me a fake buyer too? And I said, excuse me? And he said, the last agent that came here brought her husband, and I seen on Facebook she was married to him. That was her potential buyer. And I said, no, sir, you're going to see that my integrity and ethics align with who I am. I said, I would never do that to you. I'm not telling you that I have a buyer. I'm telling you that I work with several buyers in the area. I bring a lot of people to our community. Usually, y'all, I'm in the door. And if I'm not, brush and go. You cannot let that ruin your day. Brush and go. And if those kind of calls ruin your day, do them at 4 o'clock so that your day's about done. Don't start in the morning time. Okay. But with this for sale by owner, I do a preview sheet. I made it up myself. All it says is address, the owner, is this how many bedrooms, what's the lot size. It's got all that. It has a big note section. So I'm walking through the house and it looks like I'm taking notes about the house. What I'm really doing is when they say, get out of the way, Spot, I'm writing down dog named Spot. And when they introduce me to their husband, I'm writing his name down. I'm writing down their kids' names. I'm writing how many kids I see in the pictures. I'm just making friends. I'm getting to know them. And then I'm like, what made you fall in love with this property? You know, I want to hear their stories. A lot of times you'll look at those notes and you'll say, I don't know nothing about this house. I depend on Randy a lot to do that. We don't never go alone at for sale by owners. We always tag team it so that he's paying attention to the property and I'm getting to know the person. I'm writing down copious notes. If you picked up my phone and you went to any contact, you're going to see copious notes about it. If it's a bad transaction with a bad realtor, I have put that in here. So I keep it locked. So I just make friends. That preview sheet looks like, oh, she's writing copious notes about the house, and really it's about that person and their needs and getting to know them and making a new friend. That's how I get these listings. There's only been 2 for sale by owners that I previewed that I have not gotten their listing or brought them the buyer and they've paid me. My buyer hasn't had to come out of pocket. Again, this is be consistent, y'all. So what does it look like when they don't list with me, right? What I do. the day after I called them and I say, hey, I have your value looked up. You are priced correct. Or I tell them, hey, you're priced a little high, but in this market, it leaves room for you to pay closing costs. So I get back to them the next day on the time that I told them to, on the time that I told them I would. And then guess what? 3 days, I'll say, how's the showings going? 7 days, I'll say, hey, do you have a contract on that? Guess what? They're looking, they're going, who is this follow-up queen, right? So that looks like this, y'all. Set appointments in your calendar that alert you to make that call. You don't have to have the best memory in the world. I'm a scatterbrain. I'll be honest, I'm a scatterbrain. When it alerts, call Kimberly Davis, I'm like, who is Kimberly Davis? That's why those notes are in my phone. So I can look back and say, oh yeah, she was at 123 Main Street. Her dog's name's Spot. So just keep copious notes. And this really works, y'all. Becoming their friend, not bringing a whole lot of blah, blah, blah about the house, just looking at it and being honest with them. I don't have a buyer for you. I work with buyers that are moving to this area. And how many times have I called and got snuffed? I want to tell you that. So every time I see a for sale by owner, I taught this to my downline for a little while, so I didn't call as much. Every time I've ever called a for sale by owner, I've only been rude to twice. That's it. I've only not got in the house twice. That's it. When they're rude like that, they're not my people. I don't care. Bye. It's not going to ruin my day. Just get past it. You've got thousands of people that want to be your people. And then do your job. This is one that I think really, I mean, people have said it several times, sets us apart. I do not wait on them to send me the house that they want to see. I search that MLS daily, but here's what I really do on that auto notify. I go ahead and set it up on the auto notify. It's auto notifying me only. And in the subject line, I've got Brian Decker. He's looking for this type house. So when it goes on my email, I can see Brian's name and I'll say, that's for Brian. Let me look at it. And I'll look, does it fit his criteria? Is this something I think Brian Decker will love? And he'll go look at it. I put it in a link. I send it to a text message that usually has Brian, his wife, Randy, and me in it, so that we're all staying on the same page. And I'll say, hey, Brian, and I'm sorry, Brian, I don't know your wife's name, so she's going to be made up today. Her name's going to be Cheryl. Hi, Brian and Cheryl. Do y'all want to go see this one? I found this one on it. Looks like it checks off all the boxes. I personally send them the link. I look at that house. They are not set up on auto notify. It doesn't have an auto notify where it looks like I have forgotten about Brian and Cheryl and their property. And then I ask them, if it's more than one house, I'll say, hey, did you see anything there that interests you? And they'll say, I kind of like 123 Main Street. I'll say, okay, when can you go see it? Let me get that set up for you. Right. So, I mean, during showings, I really listen to them. I take notes. When we get to the car, I go on there and I say, they did not like that small bedroom. That bedroom was 10 by 10. They really want a 12 by 12 for little Andy. So I do not let them send me the house. Now, does this slip through the cracks sometimes? Absolutely. I work with a lot of buyers, but does this slip through the cracks a lot of times? No, because I've already got to sit up on auto. As soon as they call, as soon as I put it on my to-do list, put Brian Decker and Cheryl on an auto, I do it immediately. So every time something goes on the market in Coffee County, Warren County, and Franklin County, it dings my phone. I don't care what price range it is, but then it'll probably ding my phone 6 more times, because I guarantee Brian and Cheryl are not the only ones looking at that house in my database. So it'll ding my phone and it'll email. So you say, dang, that's a lot of emails. Just delete them. Once you grab the link, just delete them. or do like me and sit there one night and be like, okay, I'm gonna clean out this mess. So I do not wait. I want the appointment. That is our main goal, is to get that appointment, because that might be the perfect house for Brian. But I don't know it unless I get them there. Pictures are very deceiving on the MLS anymore, right? Pictures are so deceiving. So say you are new and you're starting out, or say your database is kind of dried up, or you haven't. I do want to go back. So if you are a realtor that hasn't been into your clients, past clients, haven't been in their inbox, haven't been in their Facebooks, haven't been in their mailbox, I'm going to tell you a little tip that I would do. I'd go on Vista or Markley, and I would do a postcard and said, I think I dropped the ball. I would order little beach balls from the Dollar Tree. They're $1 a piece. I would mail that beach ball and that postcard. And I would admit that I dropped the ball, that you want to reconnect with those past clients. And then I would start being a follow-up hero. The drop the ball, just admitting that you're wrong, they would be like, oh, wow, that's incredible, Heidi. I can't believe you done that. I can't believe you admitted that. They're going to call you. And Heidi can even follow that up with, hey, Bob, did you get my beach ball? Love to get together with you. It opens up a conversation. It gives them a little gift. I know it's a beach ball, but it also admits that, hey, I dropped the ball here. I made a mistake. I should have stayed in communication with you. And then what you're going to do, because Heidi hasn't talked to me, Heidi's going to go on the tax records and make sure that I'm still associated with the property that she helped me either sell or buy. So that you know they haven't went to another. Check their address on the MLS too, but I've never seen that case happen. So here's another thing. You can take a screenshot of this. These are just things that I pulled together. So people always want to be like, so how many of these do I use? I've only used one of these my whole career, and that's been Zillow. When the market shifted, we bought Zillow and spread them out across our downline. The ones that wanted in. I've never used any of these. I think I used Op City for about, I don't know, 2 weeks. But it's there if you need it. Take a pay cut. Take a pay cut until you build your empire, until you build your referral empire, until you get so busy. But here's what I will tell you. Don't fish what you can't clean. Don't fish what you can't clean. You're going to look like a zero if you fish more than you can clean. Your word of mouth is the best marketing, and it's the worst marketing. So if you get on 3 of these sites, you got so many leads, cut it off. Do not take another call until you feel like you can clean that fish, because looking like a hero is so much better than looking like a zero. And if you let 1, 2, 3 people fall through, and those 3 people know each other, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a reputation that you don't follow up, that you don't make the calls, and that ugly stereotype about realtors never answering their phones comes up with your name. And that's not who you want to show up. These are some there's leads with no upfront cost, and there's upfront paid lead sources. So you can pick your poison here. These are not an exhausted list of those lead platforms. These are just things that I have researched and Googled, and that way it helped when the market shifted. It helped my team to go in there and take a little bit of a pay cut. But what's wonderful about that, y'all, if you do the past client that I'm telling you to do, these will never be pay cuts again. This will always be your sphere of influence. This will always be your past clients that you're loving on for an eternity. So as EXP agents, we have Making It Rain program. We have the Property Boost on KV Core. These are some other lead generation things that you can do. The relocation program, we've got one of those. We just took it in Tullahoma. with a really great couple. They've already said, hey, Fonda, we usually move back to Tennessee every 4 years. We'll be calling you. I said, well, when you move from North Carolina, make sure you call me too, because I can find you a wonderful agent there. We found the agent that moved them there this time. So the relocation brought us a lead, but it also brought us a friend that we're going to help move back and forth as their job needs them to other areas. Express offers. This makes you look like a hero when you can go into a listing and it looks like, oh my goodness, it needs so much work. You can say, hey, let me put this through express offers and see what we can get. Let's just see what offer. So you've got to get certified in the relocation program and express offers. I always say extra education is not going to kill you. It's going to make you better. So nosy neighbor, workplace referral hubs. You got to be active on workplace, y'all. Be seen. Uplines, webinars. Now this is important. People know me because of these webinars, because I get on there and I'm not scared to open up the mic and say, oh, can you explain that to me again? I didn't understand that, right? So show up on webinars, put your name. If you've got your number on your webinar right now, put your name so everyone knows who you are. And then when you speak on the webinar, say, hey, I'm Fhonda Hatmaker from Manchester, Tennessee. It's right in the middle of Chattanooga and Nashville. So that gets played over and over and over. They know where to send the referrals to. If they have somebody in this moving to this area, they're going to send them to us. And EXP Enterprise Agent Directory, y'all, when we get a lead and they need help in another state, we interview 3 or 4 agents. And if they don't have their picture on that agent directory, we don't interview them. If I find 5 people in that area and nobody has their picture, I go back to my client and say, hey, I'm going to research another company. And I research another company and I look for theirs. Do they have their picture on their stuff? It's very important for marketing. Get your stuff uniform, one picture. Also on your Facebook, your picture, your main picture, your background can be whatever you want. I love changing that to group picture. It's big, it's beautiful, it's like a banner. Kind of tells who you are in your life. Your picture needs to be you. There needs to be no question. Don't have a picture with your sister, because they don't know which one is Judy, right? If you have a picture with your sister, they don't know which one is you. You need to keep that you, professional. Me and Randy do us because we're a domestic team. They know, hey, I'm the Fhonda and he's the Randy. So keep that picture you. Change your other, share pictures on Facebook, but your profile, and change it every once in a while, because that gets people commenting on your page. Change it once a month. Do a new picture. It doesn't have to be your professional picture. It can be that selfie where you thought, damn, I look good today. So change the picture, but make it you. This whole PowerPoint, y'all, has been about one thing. And that is, if you want to pass out more keys, consistency is the key. It's be consistent. That's the #1 message I can say in this webinar, in this PowerPoint, is be consistent. I'm going to stop the share. Uh-oh. How do I stop the share?
Under your share screen, you should.
Oh, I
down there at the
got it. I
bottom.
see
Yeah,
it.
you should.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a little bitty block.
Yeah, it's little.
So
Fhonda, that was awesome.
well, thank you.
That was such good stuff. So, the 2 things that jumped out to me, well, a lot of stuff jumped out. I took a lot of notes myself, but 2 things that jumped out is you are so good at the word you just used, consistency. You are just so good at that. And you're very intentional. You're very proactive. Those are the 3 words I think that describes you, right? And you're just so good at those. And so we're going to open it up for Q&A, and we've got a couple of questions. Danny had asked, so if there, and you touched a little bit on the end about some free lead sources, but Danny had asked, if you're a newer agent, or maybe you're an experienced agent and just don't have a big budget for marketing, what would you recommend for those people? I mean, all the ideas you shared today, were great. And those are some great ideas that anybody can do and on a low budget. But is there anything specific that you would add to that question?
Well, I would pick a neighborhood and I would market to that neighborhood. It's nice if you live in that neighborhood, but I live on a road, so it's not really a subdivision. So, and could do it consistently and get out with the community. Those are my things. If you don't have a lot of money for leads, the best one to follow is the 3-foot rule. You can do Facebook videos for small businesses in your town. That makes you like the go-to person. If you don't have a lot of money, it's about the agent that sees the most people.
Yeah, that's good. And you started out with the social media, just being active on social media, doing the community, doing some real estate updates. That we had a whole training last week about doing market updates with Russ, and that's all free. That's all free. And just getting ourselves out of our comfort zones, doing those live videos, right? Doing those posts, but live is better. Live is better. And I love, what you said, the 3-foot rule. Who has some questions for Fhonda? We're going to open it up here the last 15 minutes for some Q&A. Who has some questions or that they want to ask?
I've got a couple of things I could share, but I want to make sure that we do get the questions answered.
Yeah.
Because Fhonda, real quick, as you had mentioned, several times, you mentioned like a video text, and we've talked about that in this group. Can you explain how do you do a video text to people? Can you explain that?
Yeah, all I do is go on my photos, then video. I hold the camera up like this, and I just talk to them. Like I'll say, hey, Jeff, it was so great meeting you on the webinar. I really look forward to getting to know you better. Have a blessed day. It's that simple.
Send it out.
And another thing, I will tell you that all of us have dated people, right? Confidence is the most attractive thing on someone. Confidence. When you send a video, that's oozing with confidence. They're like, dang, that's beast. Because they're thinking, dang, I wish I had her confidence. A lot of times when it's a man though, Jeff, and I've made the 3-foot rule and I've got his phone number, I do not send the video. I send a text. Hey, Jeff, it was great meeting you. So
okay.
Randy will send the video if it's
okay.
a man. Most of the time he won't even do that. He'll text. But because I am who I am, when I make a connection at the grocery store, in line, it usually comes up, right? Because I'll say, hey, Jeff, what do you do for a living? And then I'll say, brace yourself, Jeff. I'm a realtor in this market. Do you know how much we're talked about? That just opens it up. You're not really bragging on yourself. You're just making, conversation.
Right.
Yeah, you're good about just making friends. What CRM are you using? Do you use KV Core as your CRM?
Yeah, we were paying for it with Elevate. And then I got to thinking, you know what? We really need to pay for what we already have. We don't need to pay, I think we were paying like $1,200 a month for that. So we brought all those leads and transferred them to KV Core within a minute. It was that quick. And now we use KV Core, and it also gives us a guideline. So Randy will come in here in the morning, he'll say what I need to do while I'm doing our a lot of times if I toss the ball, I'll toss the ball like 8 times. If you do not toss the ball back to me, you go to Randy. Randy sets you up in KV Core. We start talking to you that way.
That's good.
Paul, I'm sorry, Paul, did you have a question or comment? I saw you raise your hand there for a second.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Fhonda, I've got to say that Icon 3 times in 4 years, unbelievable. I have no idea how you do it. I can tell now that you have a lot of consistent processes. And so my question is, did you ever have to just stop and reinvent yourself within those 4 years? Case in point, when I got into it, I started getting all my leads on Facebook, and I did a great job. I was working with a guy called Grant Wise. He's out of Arkansas, and he taught me how to do it. And then I got a little too busy, and then I started getting realtor.com. And at the very beginning, realtor, I was killing it. I mean, I was closing $1 million deals, no problem at all. And then all of a sudden, just this last year, nothing, not a dang thing. I'm spending about 17,000 a year.
What you think about, you bring about. So you're a rock star, and you need to think that every single day that you get on there. What you think about, you bring about. And do I reinvent myself? I am a very consistent person. Do I get down on myself? You might need to take a break. If anybody knows me and follows me on social media, I've been a little dormant for about 10, 12 days. I am recalculating 2023. Randy's brother passed away this year, and I say, wait a minute, I need more personal time. So I'm doing my calendar, and I'm setting trips up. I'm setting some personal stuff that I want to do. So absolutely, I think you tweak it as you go. But when those leads are garbage, so to speak, you need to think about, dang, I attract $1 million deals. I am a lead generating beast, because what you think about, you bring about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you're just real consistent on, one thing I'll just add to that, Paul, is obviously she's very consistent on her database. And so you were doing a lot of lead generating on realtor.com and on Facebook and all that. But it's also simultaneously all those people you're working with and closing that are your past customers. You've got to be intentional, like she just taught us this whole time, about staying in contact with them and to adding to your own database without, paying for lead generating. If we all as realtors would just do that, over time, you're going to have more business than you probably can handle, because you've got a network of people outside of Facebook and Zillow and realtor.com and all those places, and really just touching and loving on them like she's talked about.
Yep.
And
I've
right
got a
now
lot of beach balls to buy, lots of beach balls.
And right now you have an opportunity with your 2022, you can print off their closing disclosure, and you can send it to them and send them a letter and say, hey, I know that you're going to need this at tax time. Have your attorney reach out to me if they have any questions. So you can look like a pro. If you want to walk up and hand it to them, just text them and say, hey, are you going to be in? I just need to quickly drop this by. That says, I'm not coming in. I'm at your door. That's it. We're gone. Because we used to hand deliver our Christmas gifts, and then it got to where we would only get 3 or 5 gifts delivered in a day. And I said, we can't do this no more. So we dressed Sean like an elf. He went door to door and said, happy holidays from the Hatmakers, and dropped our gift off. Nobody's inviting him in to talk. So we found a loophole around that. It's still very personable, but it's not us. I think Lindra has a question.
Had a question.
Real quick, I just want to make sure that you guys picked up on what she just shared with Paul. Okay, a couple of things. And I think, like, Paul, one of the things, like, from last week, to get one of the things right now, because it's on everybody's mind. Wow. Real quick, one of the, and I will unmute you here in just a second, Lindera. Like right now, everybody's talking about the market shift and what's going on with the market. And, everybody out there is, that's the headline every day, is the economy and the market, whatever. To send out like what Russ taught us last week, that market report, it could be a 3 to 5 minute thing that you put together, whatever, and just drop it into your database and send it out to everybody. Whatever. It just take you a little bit of time to put something together, and just keep them updated like monthly with that. Again, you're going to start getting some dialogue going, because they are thinking about, selling or buying, or should I not, or whatever. Well, hey, I saw where you were saying something about the interest rates and blah, 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 whatever. Like, they want to talk. It'll engage some conversation with people. But also, guys, you mentioned, Fhonda, that thing about anybody that had closings this last year, to take and if you haven't done that, that's a good idea. If you've got their closing documents in a file, email that out to them, because they will need it at tax time. They've got it in a drawer somewhere, but they might have to dig for it to find out, because they just put it away somewhere and haven't looked at it since their closing, which was last February. To take that and get it out to them and just say what she just said right there. Again, it's just a way to reconnect with people that you did deals with in 2022. and just a helpful thing to do. So just something to keep in mind.
And you're adding value with both
Absolutely.
of those
Yeah,
things.
no,
So
for
just to
sure.
go back and watch last week's training from Russ Lag, and it was really phenomenal. And anybody can do that. It doesn't cost anything at all. Lisa, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, Fonda, about more about social media. I know you were saying that you feel like Facebook is still the top place to be.
Absolutely.
So do you have a business page then?
I do, but most of our interaction is on my personal page. So I'm not a big, oh, where should I post it? I'm kind of free with my life. If I don't want it out there, I don't post it. I mean,
Okay.
you know, people know that me and Randy have 6 kids together. They know we have a slew of grandkids. But if I don't want it out there, I don't post it. People say, oh, I'm private. Well, I'm not, but I only post what I want out there.
So you
Yeah.
mostly just do, I mean, personal stuff then, just
Yep.
life,
Yep.
and just keeping up with everybody, just being
Yep.
out there.
And,
Do you
and
do anything
comment-
else?
And comment back. No, I
Mhm.
actually share the business. Like I'll share tips here and there on our business page. Anything that I share, like closings, I celebrate. I put a little story every time I'm out. When I'm out showing in McMinnville, I'll take a picture of something, or at Chevwell, I'll take a picture of something and I'll say out showing in Chevyville. They're like, oh, she's showing property, or great listing coming up in Manchester. So I use that client for 5 different posts, and it's
Okay.
amazing. So while I'm showing them, when they go under contract, when we're having the home inspection, at closing time, and congratulating them on the
So-
move to the area. So at one client gets 5 posts.
Say that again, showing, contract time, and then
Yep.
we
Showing
closing.
when they get under contract, home inspection time, closing time, and congratulation time. I tell a story about my clients, anything that I feel resonates with me during the deal. Like if it's a single mom, it kind of hits my heart because I was a single mom for a while. So anything that hits my heart, you know, just anything that I think they'd be okay with sharing. A lot of times I'll send my client the post and I'll say, are you okay if I tag you in this post? I'm their friend.
Mhm.
So, you know, by the end of the transaction, we're friends. We're almost family. I've almost got a bedroom in their house.
And a thought on those posts, you know, you have to do it every time, but on some of them, do a video.
Yeah.
Go live on video, you know, or do a video and just post it. Now, here's the thing, and we say this all the time with you guys doing video, don't watch the video, just post it. It doesn't have to be this polished in front of a green screen, your logo flying across the screen with music. They don't need all that. Just a quick go live and just, you know, hey, I'm here at the house right now, whatever, we're closing tomorrow. We're doing our final walkthrough. Are you guys excited? Yeah, we're excited, whatever. Just hit that, whatever, and put that out there. And then even with the congratulations at the end, but not just a sold, you know, post on Facebook, do a video and tell the story. You know, hey, there were 3 other people that wanted this house, but you know, I really fight for my clients. We got them in here. They're excited, and you know, but tell the story. You know, there was that one night where we all thought we were going to lose the deal with an inspection, but we got it figured out. And here's what I did extra, just so you guys know. And I'm ready to do that for any of you as well. And you know, be sure to get back to me. I'm Fhonda Hatmaker with, you know, eXp Realty, blah blah blah. You can do a video like that, tell the story, which puts you above and beyond what every other realtor out there is doing. Which just says, you know, sold, you know, with the address and a picture of the house and a picture of the couple holding the key at the closing company. I mean, it's like, whatever, like everybody does that. Don't do what everybody else does. Do something different.
That's
You know,
right.
do video and tell the
Yeah.
story of what you did for your clients and how hard you worked for them. And you're going to get the phone to ring. Go ahead.
Okay, so what other, if you were to pick 2 other social media platforms after Facebook, what would you say? What would you do?
I do TikTok, and we also are active on YouTube. Insta, I don't really do a lot of Insta, but my kids are on there and I try to respectfully stay on my stomping grounds. I'll post every once in a while there, but I do not search Insta. I barely check the messages there, but because I've got a website that'll share to both platforms, but I don't go and search, and that's my kids' domain. So I try to, you know, and actually when I did try to like be a beast on Insta, I was feeling way overwhelmed, and I said, it's not worth it. I need to focus my attention. I know that 90% Facebook is still 90% heads, leaps and bounds above any other social media. YouTube's coming up strong because it's added the shorts and things like that. But we also have YouTube. As soon as we get closed, y'all, we send our client our YouTube and say, hey, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We don't blow it up. We're going to do some fun things, some educational things, and keep you up to date with the hat makers.
Great.
Good.
Great.
I had
You
a
guys
question I wanted to
Go ahead.
ask you, Fhonda. What are you doing? I feel like I have so fallen off on this, being fully transparent and getting reviews. So you said get them at closing. What are you getting them to where, how, and what are you getting them to review you on what platform?
On our website, we have a review place. On Zillow, we have a review place, even if it's my team. I've gotten reviews on there. Because I am the lead, I can send it to my clients and I can say, hey, will you give me a review? Even though my team works the leads. So anytime you can get a review, snapshot it, share that to Facebook too. I try to get the review the day of closing. Another thing that we're trying to start doing is doing a video at the final walkthrough for our buyers and just getting a collection of little videos that we can have someone put together at the end of the year to do a celebration 2023. This has been an ideal of mine. I have not initiated it. I've not been consistent with that. Sometimes you pick up a great ideal and you're like, I just don't have time for this great ideal. So
I've got a suggestion with regards to reviews. Didn't mean to cut you off, but I created a template in KV Core that actually has links to my Zillow, Facebook, and
that's beautiful.
Google. And then basically I just tell them, I say, to save time, I'd love to, if you could give me it on all three sites, just copy and paste, and so all they do is type it out once, copy it, click on the other link, paste it, click on another link.
Can you share that in Workplace on the Freedom team?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Good. Real quick, Patricia Ann, you want to unmute yourself? You had a question?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Fhonda, what is your typical day like and how large is your team? Because you are doing everything. So if you're doing everything, what's your time allocation in a day for different activities?
So when I say team, me and Randy only work our transactions. It's just me and Randy. It's the downline team that I'm talking about, like people that I've introduced to EXP. I'm not saying go out here and show 123 Main Street. Mine and Randy's personal business is just a domestic team. And to be honest, y'all, I don't even use a transaction coordinator. I wanted to, I just have not found someone that is up to par that does it, and I don't have to worry about it. So that is something that I'm going to look at doing in 2023. My typical day is me and Randy do this business together. So when he's driving us to our destinations, we had an appointment at 8:30 this morning. We got on Jay's call and then I got on this call. Randy's out gathering water for well water testing. So we conquer and divide. And I keep a calendar, not only for the digital side, I keep a calendar opened up on our counter with our appointments there. So we know exactly what is going on, where we need to be. And then I keep a digital one, what webinars we're wanting to get on, what we're wanting to do. Who do I need to send messages to? So I use my ABC in my contacts. They don't know they're in alphabetical order, y'all. Bob don't know that I'm going to do, I did Billy right before him every single month. So I use my alphabet to keep up with the clients that I've talked to and who I did. Another thing is when I save them in there, they're saved as their business is client. So all I have to do in my phone and my contacts is put client. EXP team, I keep everybody with a label in my contacts, so that it makes it real easy to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I do that most of the time when he's driving us to destinations. We do long days, Patricia. I don't have, I have a 19-year-old. He was 17 when I started this business, 16 when I started this business. I took him with me to spend time with them, because I closed 36 transactions my first year, and it was busy, crazy. That's why I don't really know about KB Core, because I just got busy. But we were hungry, and we had lost our jobs and ran through our savings the 18 months that we were at skeleton jobs or whatever. So I literally just know my people, know when I need to talk to them. I will say that this last year we sold our first two purchases from when I joined. Those two people came back to me, and they were 4 years old in our business, and they came back to us to list the house and find them a new house. And that was just this year. So
Absolutely awesome. I experienced some of the same stuff. I'm just a one-man show. So I need you to add me to your prayer list to pray for me a husband. Hallelujah. Thank you.
a good husband.
Well, let's just take a poll right here. Who's single? No.
Started dating.
All right, Kathy.
A licensed husband.
That's right. Even better.
Hey, a couple things. I'm gonna share my screen here real fast, and we'll wrap it up. But we have talked about this on here before, guys. If you haven't signed up for it, something to look into. And Fhonda, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Keeping Current Matters.
Yeah.
It's just a great service. It's like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks a month. But every day you could set this up to post for you automatically.
Ooh.
You can set it up. You don't have to do anything with it. It takes you 30 minutes and you set it up. It'll post on Facebook, on your business page, your personal page. It'll post on Twitter. It'll post on Instagram. It'll post on LinkedIn. It goes everywhere, and it can do it automatically if you want it to. Okay. Every day, 5 days a week, they do a blog. Here's today's. It looks great. Think twice. Here it is. It's going to go to it. Think twice before waiting for 3% mortgage rates. That's today's blog. They're really good. I could do this myself, or I could have it set up automatically. It's a great looking blog. Anybody clicks on this, it takes them back to a page. It looks like a website. It's got all your stuff on there, your picture, contact, all this stuff. Every week, every Thursday, they put out a video. Now it's pre-recorded. It puts your stuff on there for an extra like 40 bucks a month or something. You can use your phone as a teleprompter, and you just read it. And now it intercuts it, and it takes you all of about a minute. And you have a really good looking video that you can now post everywhere as well, including YouTube and whatever.
Wow.
These are the videos that have come out the last 3 weeks.
Huh.
Okay.
I've got something that's called Posting Agents, 99 bucks a month. They actually will go in several times a week and do postings on your behalf. And also, if there is an open house, they'll actually send one of their guys in to do a quick little video of the open house that you post on your social media accounts. And what it is all designed to do is start conversations. We don't talk about price, beds, bath, square footage. They just go into the open house and start showing a little snippet here and there. This kind of content here, most people just breeze right through it. So you might want to look up Posting Agent. And like I said, they'll do a webinar for you. They're working like 1,800 agents right now. And I've been with so many different people that do this posting for you, and like Agent Directory and all this other stuff. And I had Keeping Current Matters, never got a thing from it. So I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but if you want something that's more personal, I would go with Posting Agent.
Cool. Good to know. I've been using this. What
good stuff from that. Adrian just said she gets good feedback on that Posting Agent.
That's good. It's good to know.
How
I've not
much
heard of that yet.
how much was Keeping Current Matters or keep?
It's like 40, 50 bucks a month, something like that. Here's what I like about it. I think when people get in there, like to me, it's like and I can then send this stuff out to my database, put it in my sphere. They do this buyer and seller guide. I think over time, what it does, you set yourself up as like the go-to person for real estate. I'm not saying people are going to read this every day, but if they're going to go to your social media, I will tell you right now, if you have not built up something on social media, you need to be doing that. And I would be deleting certain things on social media. Go through your accounts and look down there. Would you hire you if you were a prospect? Because they're going to search your Facebook. They're going to search your Instagram. They're going to search things. And if all it is a bunch of goofy stuff and whatever, just know that it's almost like a resume that you're putting out there for people to see. Okay. So you want to build it up with something. I will definitely look into that, Paul. Posting Agents. That's not something I've heard about. So that's the value of these
Jeff,
masterminds. Yes.
Yeah, I did not understand the part that you were talking about. These, I don't know whether this website is the posting agent or, the one that has got these.
This one here is Keeping Current Matters. The one that Paul mentioned is called, it's Posting Agents, right? Is that Paul? Right? You're muted. I'm sorry. You're muted, Paul.
Yes, it was
Posting Agents. Okay.
posting agents.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll get the contact information and drop it into the Freedom Workplace.
Okay. The other thing I want to hit real quick, guys, because we are running over here. We have this page. If you're part of Freedom Team here at EXP, freedomteamsupport.com. Okay. I want to just push this here because up here at the top, if you don't have your KV core set up and you want to set it up, and you should set it up, okay, you should set it up to, you could at least bring in an extra 8 to 10 deals a year, really for free, with the training that is provided just by doing the bare basics with it. Up here at the top of the page, Freedom Team KV Core Training. You click on that, and there's some options here on how we will help you set up your KV Core with some additional training to get this going. Fhonda mentioned doing the property boost. I've done the property boost on 5 properties. Let me go back here. Actually, I'm going to share this. I've done it on 5 properties. And out of 5 properties, which cost me $300, $60 per property, okay, we had 315 people click. Well, first of all, it showed up on 7,719 Facebook pages, timelines. We had 315 people click on those 5 ads. We got 67 leads out of it. It comes out to $4.48 a lead. Okay. It's a great return on your money. And you could do what Fhonda said right there was, you have a lead come in with Property Boost, $60. It runs an ad for a week. You get these leads and follow up, send them a video text. Hey, I saw you were checking out that house at 123 Main Street. Saw you on my website. Let me send you the listing. How can I help you? Whatever. You start getting some interaction going on. You could definitely pick up some stuff for $60 a week. I would do it on as many properties as you can, and you can do it on other EXP agents' properties. It does not have to be your listing. Check on that in your state. There are some different state laws that might come in there. Okay. Keeping Current Matters, you can just find that online. I think it's keepingcurrentmatters.com or something. Do a Google search for Keeping Current Matters. You can find it. Posting Agents, Paul will put that into the Freedom Team Workplace group, and we'll get that there.
Hey, Jeff, did
cool.
Lindera, did they jump off? I know they had a question. Lindera?
Yeah, she did have a question, and sorry.
Okay, so
She's gone. We'll
I'm
find
just
her.
making sure. Okay,
Yeah, we can reach out to her and make sure she gets her question answered.
Okay,
I'll reach out
great.
to her here as soon
Okay.
as we're done. I'll message her.
awesome.
Guys, anything else, Kathy, you want to throw out?
No, yeah,
No?
thank you, Fonda. That was fantastic. A lot of great tips, great ideas for sure. And we ran a little bit over today. So thank you so much for coming on and training
Thank you.
everybody. You did great.
Well,
Thank you,
thank
guys.
you. Thank you for
So-
having me.
Just a reminder, next Tuesday, we'll be back here. Stephanie Gill is on, our newest Freedom Team leader. Stephanie's done over 10,000 transactions. She's got $1 billion listed right now, literally in volume. And she's going to be on here next Tuesday leading our mastermind. Okay. So you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be awesome. So guys, we're here to help you. Kathy, myself, Sean, Tim, Eric, and
morning.
Stephanie. We're here to help you. Reach out to us anytime at all. You can message us, directly, call us if you got our numbers, message us through workplace chat, anything we can do to help. So,
And we're doing a training every Tuesday. He showed you that calendar. So just pay attention to the calendar. So every Tuesday we do a training with a great agent like Fhonda today. Next week, like you said, Stephanie. So plug yourself in every Tuesday at 10 Central Time, but get your team plugged in so
Yes.
that they can help grow, their business for 2023. So we're in this together and we're all here to help you guys.
yep. Go to that Freedom Team Workplace group. Okay. This will be posted in there within the next hour. So you can
Yeah.
watch it again if you want, pick up on some of the stuff you might have missed. Okay. We'll
Thank
see you.
y'all so
Okay.
much.
Have a
an
great
awesome
day. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That's great. Can you guys hear me?
Mhm.